Good morning, Dana Coleman here, Director of Operations with PMA Web Services. I'd like to thank you for tuning in to our weekly installment of PMA Facebook Live. If you missed us last week, no worries. You can always catch the video in our video section on our Facebook page, as well as our blog on our website. Now, last week, I talked about the bare bones essentials, the basics of starting a business page for Facebook if you don't have one already. What you need in place, tips about just the bare bones basics. So if you need that, any help with that, I would highly recommend that you check out the video. And I apologize for any background noise. They're doing some construction outside, so hopefully it's not interfering and you can hear me clearly. Now, when I mention search engine optimization, the first thing that you think of is probably going to be a website or a blog. It's probably not going to be Facebook. But Facebook is undeniably a search engine optimization powerhouse. And if you're already utilizing Facebook for business, a Facebook business page, you might as well take some time to research and learn about how to use keywords to optimize the search engine optimization for your business page. Now, if this sounds confusing, in layman's terms, all this is you want to make it as easy as possible for your clients to find you. So you want to find the most searched words on the internet that are relevant to your business and incorporate them on your business page. Now, to get started, I have a few tips and tricks to help you just get started with the basics of Facebook and optimizing your business page with SEO and keywords. So the first thing you want to do, if you haven't already, you want to claim your vanity or personal URL on your business page. If you haven't claimed it, there's just going to be one it's going to be filled in with something that Facebook chose. It's not going to be a word or have anything to do with your business. It's going to be generic, and it's pretty simple to do. And when you do that, you want to make sure you don't leave what Facebook chose, because you want to choose something relevant to your business, because this is heavily weighted with search engines. So it's something really easy to kind of forget to do, but if you do it, it's going to make it a little bit easier for people to find you. And if you're not sure what URL I'm talking about, it's going to be, if you go on Facebook and look in the search bar, it's going to say, www.facebook.com / and then have the, there's going to be a word or, a few words put together. And choose wisely because it can be changed in the future. However, it's really tricky to do, so I would recommend to think of it as something permanent that you can't change when you choose that. Now, when you're choosing your Facebook business page name, you want to choose something obviously relevant to your business and specific, but not too specific. You're probably scratching your head and looking at me and thinking, what is she talking about? So I'm going to give an example to help clarify. Let's say, just for an example, you are a marriage counselor. You offer counseling, marriage counseling services. You may not want your business name for the page to be anything with marriage counseling specifically, because in the future, you may expand your services to relationship coaching or any kind of personal coaching. And it could be confusing, and you don't want it to be too specific. So you would maybe, let's say, just for example purposes, the marriage counseling, you want to focus the name around relationships or love. So it's not too limiting. Now, there's 3 sections when on your Facebook page where you really want to use keywords strategically. It's the About section, the Mission section, and the Company Description sections. And also keep in mind when you're filling in those sections that they can be moved up and down and reordered. If you're more familiar with your personal page, your profile page, you may have done that with some of the sections that you can move and rearrange. So let's say you want, company description first, mission second, about third, or whatever your preference is. You can always reorder those. So, and that's not permanent like other things are. So they can always be changed. They can always be reordered. You can always change the wording as well. If you haven't already, you want to link everything together with Facebook. So that would be any channels like Twitter or Instagram, your website, your website and your blog. It's only going to help your search engine powers, if you will, and make it easier for people to find you. Now, you want to optimize your Facebook business page posts, meaning if you're not familiar with the business page, a business page has status updates. You can do status updates just like on your personal profile. But these status updates on your Facebook business page you can optimize them with keywords and utilize SEO. So keep in mind when you are posting a status update that the first word in that status update, Google is going to weigh heavily on that word. So that's really important that the first word is relevant. And the next 18 characters are going to be your meta description. Not 18 words, 18 characters of that post. So it may sound confusing. First word, make sure that it is relevant. Like I said, Google weighs heavily on that word. And then the next 18 characters are going to be your meta description, as well as your SEO title for that status update. Now, determining what keywords to use, that's going to take some research, and I'll talk about that in just a moment. One thing that I find very often, pretty often on blogs typically, where people utilize SEO, I find that when I read some blogs, they are so focused on keywords that the message seems lost of the blog, or the blog doesn't read through naturally and sounds choppy and just, it's so keyword rich that it just doesn't read how it should read or how it was probably intended to read. So when you're using, my advice here is when you're using and utilizing SEO for Facebook, you don't want the message to be lost, especially in your status updates or your company description or any of it. You don't want people to read it and have it so chunked up with keywords or jammed with keywords that it's confusing and it doesn't read smoothly. So there's a balance, and you can always find that balance. Just make sure that it sounds clear when whatever your content you're putting out there. So how do you research keywords for Facebook? It's actually much more simple than you may think. You know your business the best, so you want to brainstorm. Obviously, you want to keep in mind what you're offering, what services you're offering, what you sell, and do some searches in search engines. Probably start with Google. That would be the place I would start, and see what words are coming up the most in relation to your business. So, you can not only use Google and search engines, but Amazon, eBay, and then niche sites as well. So let's say, just for an example, you sell home appliances. You can use sites like Bed Bath & Beyond or any site that sells home appliances. And a great tip, a really good tip, on any of these sites, whether it's a niche site like Bed Bath & Beyond, or it's a search engine like Google, or a site like Amazon or Walmart, these sites all have autofill features. So what you want to do is type in things like, let's say you sell KitchenAid products. Type in KitchenAid and see what comes up. Whatever comes up next to that word is going to be the first word that comes up is going to be the most searched word associated with KitchenAid. And below that will be the second, third, fourth, so on and so forth. So it makes it's a powerful tool for you when you're researching what keywords to use. And just think, when you're doing this, in the end, all you're trying to do is find the most searched words on the internet associated with your business so people can find you. It makes it easier for people to find you. And just to reiterate again, that piece of advice that I mentioned, try not to get too lost in making things keyword rich. You want to make sure that things read through the way you intend them to read through, and it's not keyword and keyword after keyword. And yes, you want to utilize the power of SEO on Facebook, but you don't want your message to get lost in that process. So if you have any questions or if you have any tips on Facebook search engine optimization, we would absolutely love to hear from you. If you have any advice, tales of woe, again, anything you'd like clarified, drop us a line in the comment section. We would love to hear from you. If you haven't already liked PMA's Facebook page, go ahead and hit that thumbs up button. And this month we are doing Facebook the entire month, which I think is great because the platform I have delivered this video to you on is on Facebook. So there's a lot of great tools within Facebook that you can utilize for your business. We're looking forward to continuing our month-long series on Facebook, and also we'd love to hear from you, like I said. So have a great week, and we will see you next week.